Hi there, Year 8. So, really excitingly, we have now arrived on Mars. We have landed on Mars and we are ready to go out and explore. So that's really exciting. And one thing that excited and interested me was the craft we used to get here, the spacecraft. Because lots and lots of you picked either one of the Apollo ships or the Millennium Falcon to travel in last lesson. Pretty cool choices. Actually, there was loads of Star Wars there. There was X-Wings and TIE Fighters and a few others mentioned as well. So Star Wars had a really, really good representation. So did Marvel. A lot of you wanted to travel on the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy. And one person even said the Quinjet from the Avengers. I'm not 100% sure the Quinjet can go into space, but I might be wrong. I'll have to read up on my Avengers and find out. There were some really, really good ones which deserve a mention, and one of you, I was really happy to see this, one of you decided that the best ship to go on would be the Red Dwarf so that you could get some toast from the toaster. Excellent. A couple of people said the TARDIS, which is an excellent choice. Well done. So you might have a bit of a scare this lesson, those two people. No one said anything from Star Trek. There was no Enterprise, Defiant, Voyager, Discovery, anything like that. So I was a little bit surprised by that one, because I would have thought those were fairly famous spaceships, and who wouldn't want to be on a spaceship with Patrick Stewart? Well, actually, that's not my choice of spaceship. My choice of spaceship, after having thought long and hard about this, would have been the Starship Heart of Gold from the Hitchhiker's Guide series. It's kind of like the TARDIS, all except it comes with some slightly more interesting decoration and interesting people, shall we say. Douglas Adams wrote for both those, so that would be interesting. Anyway, we've now arrived on Mars on the spacecraft of our choice, so probably an Apollo Millennium Falcon mashup if we're going by popularity. And can we just open the doors and go outside and bounce around, because of course lower gravity on Mars? No, we can't. The air there is really, really thin. And when I say really, really thin, I mean pretty much not there. Mars doesn't have much of an atmosphere. There aren't many gases there. So we would have to do something to make sure that all the gas that we brought with us on our spacecraft didn't then escape and go off into the universe and just vanish. So one thing that we might have to do is to build something. And many people, when they think of building things, they build big semicircular domes that everyone lives and works and plays in and everything like that. So that's a really common thing, these domes that are full of air, but you can build it any shape you want. And we've said a greenhouse, and a greenhouse is of course made out of usually metal and glass, but it could be wood and glass. And the glass lets in the light and the heat because you've got the infrared coming in, but it doesn't let the gas escape. And also it traps a lot of the heat. That's why the whole climate change thing has also been called the greenhouse effect, because the heat gets in but then can't escape out. So how would we build a greenhouse? Would we take lots of iron and glass and stuff with us to build it? That might not be the best use of things to do, because Mars is red. And why is it red? It's made up of something called iron oxide, and you know this better as rust. Okay, so Mars is covered in minerals, but lots of rust. And rust, iron oxide, if you can split those two chemicals apart, which we can do fairly easily actually, just by burning it with some carbon, if you can split that apart, then you've got iron, and you've got carbon dioxide if you burn it with carbon. So we'd have to maybe feed that to our plants to get oxygen out. Okay, so we've got the iron, but how are we going to get the glass? Who can tell me what you have to heat up to get glass? Any ideas? This is why I found out who the Minecraft players are. Because we have to do silicon dioxide, sand, and on the surface of Mars there is probably quite a bit of silicon dioxide. So we can heat up the sand and make glass. So there we go, we've got our iron and we've got our glass, and we've even made a bit of carbon dioxide and turned that back into oxygen from our plants. Amazing! So we've got everything we need for our greenhouse now. Okay? So anyway, we've got our plants, and they should grow quite well because there's loads of minerals on the surface of Mars. But the thing is, other than carbon dioxide, which we're making from smelting our iron, and other than minerals and electrolytes, if you remember from last lesson, other than that, what else do they need? Water. Well done. And Mars has water. This is where the Doctor Who fans get a bit scared. There is water on Mars. It's just deep down. So plants would need a root system that went deep down to suck this water up so that they could use it. And once they've sucked it up, of course, we can maybe use that and drink it. Or maybe not. What would it do? Would it be normal water, or would it turn us into sort of scary monsters? Probably normal water. I mean, it's H2O. How weird can it get? But anyway, so we've got our plants, we've got our greenhouse. You're going to design your own greenhouse and show me, and I'm going to be quite excited about this. And the other thing we might need to bring with us, because humans and a few plants, like maybe some apple trees and some lettuce and some corn, that's a bit, I'm just trying to think of the word, that's not enough, is it? Because we at some point are going to need new baby lettuces and new baby corn and new baby apple trees. And the thing is about plants is that they can't sort of walk up to each other and make little babies. They need, usually crops need insects to, like bees, to move the pollen over to the flower so that it can be fertilised and we can get more fruits and more little baby plants growing. So we would probably, and this doesn't appear a lot in science fiction, they always just go, hey, we've got humans and we've got plants and that's all we need. But we know from Earth that if we lose the bees, we lose a lot of plants. If we lose our insects, we lose plants. So I would suggest we would take insects with us. But then, it's one of those things that builds. We bring a load of insects with us. And then we find out that the insects have kind of taken over the planet and there's no room for us, and they're stinging us and killing us and eating all our food, and that's not good either. So we then need to think, well, what could we do about that? And I would suggest we would then have to bring, as well as the humans and the plants and the insects, we would have to bring some vertebrate that would eat the insects. So we might want to bring some birds, or we might want to bring some fish. And the good news about this is that if their populations start to get too big, we can eat them. We can eat insects. There are some places which do insects and make like burgers and stuff out of insects. So we might eat the insects directly, or we might say, we've got some fish, we've got some birds, let's have them eat the insects and we can eat them. Yum, yum, yum. Job done. And if, of course, you've got fish, you'll need like lakes and stuff like that, but you might need that for the insects anyway. And you would do for the birds because they need water. So yeah, lots and lots to think about. So your task, you're going to design a greenhouse, and it can be any shape you want, but it's going to be made out of glass and probably something to hold the glass in place. And you are going to put stuff in it. You're going to put plants in it. And then maybe look at insects and vertebrates and other things that we're going to put in it. And there are a load of questions on this form underneath for you to answer about that. And I can't wait to see the uploaded pictures of all your beautiful greenhouses that are going to go onto Mars. Okay, take care, and I will see you very soon. I'll see you this week. This is our last live lesson. This is our last recorded lesson together for a while. Fantastic. So see you soon, Year 8. Bye.